Welcome back to the Northwest Tank Line Super Bowl show, coming to you from Radio Row, Phoenix Convention Center. It is the Eagles and the Chiefs in Super Bowl 57, of course, our 22nd year.
Man,
on
you
Radio
guys
Row.
are old.
Shots fired, and we haven't even done the intro yet. And don't worry, Pereira came by. He said, just look for the bald guy to his handler. So, I mean, I'm taking shots all week. It's Chris Sims from NBC and, of course, Pro Football Talk. You know, we interview a lot of people during this week, and we talk X's and O's, we talk stories. I got to tell you, one of my favorite stories with you, my memories, was you impersonating your dad.
Oh, yeah, that always gets people like a little chuckle.
How Christopher, right?
Well, yeah, they don't. First off, I think my dad's like one of the most misunderstood people. I think for years, of course, they saw him with Jim Nantz and, hey, Jim, and they think, and he's really like crazy, off the cuff. You would make you laugh nonstop if you were around my dad. You know, so I do think he's misunderstood that way. But, yeah, he's the big effer. That's what we call him in the house, the king, whatever. He is the king of the Sims household. And, yeah, he's just got so many quirks and the way he talks, and we love to rag on him, and my friends do. You know, and, yeah, it's just, you know, hey, Christopher, so what do you think? What do you think about this game? I mean, call me later, because I want to talk about it. All right. That's kind of how he talks all the time, and we make fun of it a lot.
I know I've talked to kids, I should say, the sons of coaches.
Yeah.
And football was something that they kind of were, always talking about all the time.
Right.
Was that like a big topic when you were around? Like when you were, I'm talking as a kid, right?
Yeah,
when you're 9, 10, 12 years old. You're learning concepts already at that age?
No, not that, but the overall game, sure.
Yeah.
And, not that he was forcing it on me either. I don't want anybody to think that. I didn't have some psycho dad that was like, get in the basement and lift weights. Throw more footballs, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't that at all. He really wasn't. I was a kid that loved sports. So I was always, hey, Dad, what about this? Hey, Dad, what about this? And yeah, he was great that way. So I learned a lot. And he played for a coach that, like anybody that's ever been around him, I just did an interview with Sean Payton. He brings up Bill Parcells 4 times in a 15-minute interview, right? I'm with Mike Lombardi. He brings up, Bill Parcells was special. He's special. The things that he teaches, some of the overall philosophies of football that are tried and true, that Belichick has adopted and all that, Dad really never goes a day without almost quoting Bill Parcells. And then, I think between his passion for the game, my passion for the game, man, we talked football and quarterbacks a lot growing up, but not like X's and O's until I got older enough to know what the hell X's and O's really were. Chris
Sims is our guest, NBC Sports, of course, Pro Football Talk as well. I got to give you props because there are a lot of guys here that are big names, and, they're the major networks, and they'll come out and they'll kind of do a couple things. You're out here every day, man. You love talking football. You're talking just with everybody here at Radio Row.
I love talking football. I like to be a good guy. I like you. There's a
one
bunch
of the few.
Well, that bald guy, that's old, right? I like him, right?
But double whammy, I'm old too.
but I do. I want to be, pleasant to people, and if they want to hear me talk, or I'm more than happy to try to make that happen as long as it fits in my schedule. I certainly don't get sick of talking football. I really don't.
You have talked a lot of football this week about the Super Bowl, these two teams. What is something that you think the mainstream media out here at Radio Row perhaps might be overlooking?
Well, gosh, I've made some, this is truly, as much as we talk about, quarterbacks and receivers and a great tight end and all these stars, this will be a game that is one up front, right? It really will be. And I don't mean to, say cliche stuff like that. And I'll break it down for you really bit. First off, we're talking about an Eagles pass rush, right? That's got a chance to break the 85 Bears, right? I don't think it's quite that dangerous, but it's still really dangerous. But, man, this is one of the best pass protecting O-lines in football. With Andy Reid, who's an ex-O-line coach, I have a hard time thinking that they're just going to run over, Creed Humphrey and Orlando Brown and company and get to Mahomes a whole lot, right? And here's the other aspect, too, I'd worry about. In games like this, Mahomes, they're not going to be they're a little balanced, but Mahomes chasing him, drop back 45 times, my experience there, like Brady in Super Bowl 49 with the Seahawks, pass rush starts to wear out in the end of the game. It's just only so many times you can chase after the damn guy and get him. So that is one thing I look at to go, yeah, Eagles are better in totality. I think this is I say this all the time. There might be a team that's better in totality, but this is a matchup league. And this is a team that I think poses real matchups for the Eagles. Other side of the ball, I worry about the Eagles steamrolling the Chiefs' defense a little bit, but the Chiefs have pretty good depth on D-line. They have some big people, and I think Spags and Andy Reid are going to realize, wait, like, we can't let them run the ball. We got to put it in Jalen Hurts' hands. We can't let them go on a 12-play, 9-minute drive and Patrick Mahomes on the side. They're going to sell out to stop the run. So that's one thing, and here's one other human element I'll throw to you. I'm sorry, I know I'm talking a lot.
No, go ahead.
Another human element the Eagles haven't played a real game in 8 weeks. They haven't had a play. That would scare the crap out of me. And then you're playing this team who you know is not going to be intimidated by the Super Bowl. They've been in battle-tested football games, right? That little element there does scare me for the Eagles a little bit as well.
Chris, when I look at this game, I mean, you touched on it, that Philadelphia front too deep. They can come at you in waves with the depth that they have.
Right.
So, to me, it's about creating doubt for those defensive linemen. So how do you do it? I mean, are you going to do misdirection? Are you going to do screen draw? Are you going to make these guys go east-west? How do you do that?
I think a little bit of all what you're saying there. I broke this down a little bit on one of my social media things last week. First off, the Eagles struggle with pre-snap motion and movement. They're very into, hey, wait, it's tripped receivers over here. Well, we want to call this defense because we know they go to this play, these plays, so we got this defense called. But then let's say one of those receivers motions to the other side of the formation. They get into a totally different defense, which takes communication and movement. And I showed some examples on social media to go, you know, hey, look at this play. They're talking to each other, and the ball's being snapped, right? So those are some things you can do, one, to slow down a pass rush. You know, the pre-snap motion all in general, even the faking of the speed sweeps or the faking of the reverses, some play-action pass, that's all going to make them go, wait, did he hand it off? Oh, wait, no, he didn't? Okay, wait, now let me restart my pass rush. Let alone they have gotten very good at screens to the receivers even out on the edge. That's another great way. Hey, come get me, boom, throw it out there. Now they got to go chase the ball. And it's the first time in the Mahomes era that they legitimately have a run game that they can lean on to a degree.
Who is better suited to play behind schedule if they have to? Is it Kansas City or is it Philly?
Definitely. I mean, Kansas City for sure, but it's not a recipe that I would even say is going to be successful for them, right? I mean, if there's too many third and longs, they're going to lose the game. They are. So but you know, they can overcome a certain amount of them, is all I'm saying. Yeah, third and long against Spags' defense, all that they do, and I don't think the Eagles are a great passing football team, totally plays in the favor of the Chiefs for sure.
How surprised are you that the Chiefs are here given their relative inexperience in the secondary? And it's interesting because you had Thomas Dimitroff off. I don't know if you talked to Thomas this week, but Sumer Sports, and they're doing the analytics about roster building. And they just talked about just the value that they're getting out of that secondary with all that youth.
They got great eye for talent. They totally changed their defense over from last year, and they were in the AFC Championship game. I can rattle off names and go, yeah, they're core culture of guys. They love football guys who are just obsessed with the sport. And when you have Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, guys of that nature, their ability to kind of like, hey, no, this is how we do it. Now jump the hell on. Like Andy told me a story. Off season, Patrick's in Texas with all the new receivers, texting them every day, hey, this guy does this good, this guy does that good. They're obsessed with football there. So there is a great culture, let alone they got some real studs and a young team like you're saying to where, listen, I still don't think people are making a big enough deal of what we're seeing here. This is already one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of sport. Hey, this is a run that I know it's only one Super Bowl, but still, it's 5 AFC championships and 3 Super Bowls out of 4 years. You know, and one of those Super Bowls, he beat a team that was better than them. I mean, the Niners were better. It's a lot like this game. The Niners were better. It's just, damn, with 6 minutes left, you know, Magic Man 15, it was zing, zoom, zoom, and all of a sudden you're going, holy crap, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
You ever play with a high ankle sprain?
I have. I did it my year in Denver when I was playing with Josh McDaniels. I got hurt in the preseason, got it bad. 2 weeks later, I was out there. I didn't do it the first week. Mine was worse than Mahomes's. I don't think he's going to be 100%, but I think he's going to be close. I do. 3 weeks, he didn't really re-aggravate it in the AFC Championship game. I know that. You know, they were encouraged with that first week of rehab and all that. I think you're going to see a Mahomes that's still very good. But here's what's different about Mahomes, too. He's better in the pocket this year than he's ever been in his career. It stopped this is one of the great things without Tyreek Hill. He stopped being so greedy, waiting for big plays, floating around the pocket, waiting for something big to happen. He's more of a surgeon now, and that's where, to me, that's why he's the MVP and taking this team where they are.
You watch so much film and all the great work that you do with NBC and Pro Football Talk. Is there an Achilles heel that can be exposed with either quarterback?
Well, yeah. You know, one with Mahomes is no, not really. Hurts, I still have questions about. You know, I take a lot of flack because I'm not ready to put Jalen Hurts in the top quarterback conversation by no stretch of the imagination. Kind of how I just explained it to you guys. You know, again, I'm still not sold. If they get thrown into a passing game, I don't think that's going to suit them well. So that would be the thing I'd worry about. You know, again, think about them as a team. And I know this is going to sound, I'm not trying to take a shot, but it's run up the middle for 5, run up the middle for 8, throw a screen to A.J. Brown, he runs for 10. Throw an RPO, wide open slant, he runs for another 20. Run up the middle for 8, run up the middle for 8. Hey, throw a jump ball up in the air. That is not in the same class of what's being asked to do with Mahomes or the other top-tier quarterbacks. He needs some system help, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I'm trying to pump people, say, calm down here. We're putting them a little too high right now.
Pick for the game? Do you have one?
I'm going Chiefs, 28-24. I mean, like I said, this game's tight. I'm going almost more here on the bright lights, the battle-testedness, the Mahomes factor, that they pull it out more along those lines.
The intangibles.
Intangibles, right. I think the Eagles are better, like I'm saying, but I worry about some of the other things we talked about.
Still got to play the game, baby.
That's right.
Hey, I got to ask you, I mean, our week is wrapping up. Your week, I know you're going to still be working through the weekend, but.
No, I'm not. I'm out of here, too.
You're done?
I'm done.
Oh, man.
NBC doesn't have a Super Bowl here. I'm going to be, my big butt's going to be on the couch
nothing with
watching
Pro Football
the Super Bowl.
Talk this weekend?
Nope, nothing this weekend.
Oh, wow. So,
Monday morning, I'll be up early talking.
So you tell me then, what's going to be the best part of the weekend for you?
I got Salt Lick Barbecue at the house, my favorite Texas barbecue place, right? I ordered it. It's in the house right now. Brisket, ribs, right? That with a few cocktails on Sunday, watching the game. Come on.
Where you live again?
I live in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Okay. It's a little, right. I don't think Phoenix, Greenwich, Vancouver works.
It's not gonna work.
I know you'd invite me, of course. Hey, again, I know that you've been pulled 6 ways to Sunday. I see it every day here, and props to you for making yourself available to so many people, including us. And anytime you come to Vancouver, man, you've got
I'm dying to go to Vancouver. I really am. All I hear is good things about it.
Yeah.
I see the pictures. It looks beautiful.
Well, man, like I said, anytime you want to come up, you can be our guest. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.